So I learned about Equinox at CFCA. David was there. Yeah. Yeah. And at the time, we were, the company I was at was kind of going through reform, different areas. And when he presented, there were a lot of things that just jumped out at me. We continued to talk, and there wasn't an appetite. We had built an internal system ourselves to do fraud management. There wasn't an appetite to switch to third party until we took on a new product. When we took on a new product, the internal development staff said, we're not doing it again. Like, you have too many requirements. So I said, can we try it? And our first contract was, 1 million minutes a day, or it was a really small first contract, but it got that product out the door and it got us protected out of day one. In that environment, we were the audio component within a web product. So it was a third-party web product, and we were the overlay audio product. So we didn't have control, right? So there are a lot of things that when you're in a voice only and you're controlling voice only, that you were able to do more things. So in this environment, it allowed us to, what impressed me the most was to be able to pull out specific case trending and analytics to provide to the third-party web provider to say, you need to give us access to do this. You need to give us access to control this. They are our customers using your service and our audio, but you're controlling the provisioning. And working through that, there were a ton of changes that very large third party had to make in order to accommodate it. So Protector allowed us to have that information to target, to say specifically, if you provided us this piece of data, we would have been able to stop it this much sooner. If you gave us access to turn this off, we'd be able to do this faster. So it was, I don't want to call it just the analytics, but it was the tracking and the way we were able to do it and the flexibility within Protector that allowed us to give a few different angles of the same data. It was fantastic. It was a trial, and we tried it, and what we paired it up against was what we had built internally. And that's what kind of sold it for the new product, was that Equinox was able to catch things faster. From an expectation standpoint, because it was at CFCA that I met David, and David was extremely personable and brought people in. It didn't feel like how a vendor relationship normally feels. It felt more like, we want to help you. Like, we know you have this thing and we can help you, and we're just here. Like, use us when you want to use us. And it wasn't a hard sell environment. It was more of I felt more like it was a consultant rather than a vendor relationship. That was great. I mean, we had our issues out of the gate. I mean, again, we didn't have control. So there are a lot of times where we're just watching it light up. We're just watching it go crazy. And because of that, we created a lot of our own rules within the system because we needed a way to catch it from differently until that third-party vendor made their change. But then as technology started to change at our company, and as people started to change at our company, we started to bring more and more connections into Protector rather than trying to rebuild it ourselves, because Protector just did it better. And it was the support organization, and I think of support as anyone I spoke to on the phone. But looking at the support organization, it was really supportive of like, okay, we're gonna try this. Okay, we're gonna turn on this. And we were able to be transparent as the fraud organization to say, look, we know this is a mess. We're gonna flip the switch on. We know it's gonna be a mess. We need help isolating what business changes need to happen. And that's the greatest benefit of Protector specifically, was that the support organization would give us the tool for us to be able to make business changes. It wasn't just about catching fraud. It was about influencing our business processes to prevent the fraud from happening to begin with. So I moved over to Somos, and the day I got to Somos, I saw how much data there was. And I thought back to, the month prior when I was fighting fraud and said, if I would have had like these 3 pieces of data, it would have enriched the ability to detect, right? So it was within the first month, like I called David and I said, we need to talk. Like, there is information here that Somos has access to that will enrich the data. And, Somos is focused on digital identity and helping in the fraud industry in general. And I said, there's so many things that are here. Like, I want to get you this data. I think it would just be an enrichment piece. And we started talking to try to figure out how we can get that to work and where we can plug that in.